Hello, welcome to Global Nationalism. Today I'm going to be talking about Indian nationalism with respect to current events. The topic for today is India's response to attacks by the Houthis on shipping vessels in the Red Sea and how India has reacted to them, how India has been affected by them, and whether or not India will take military action against the Houthis. Let's get started. In December, a tanker with Indian crew was hit by a drone in the Red Sea. All crew members were safe and the vessel uh, reached India. A Gabon flagged crude oil tanker MV Sai Baba with Indian crew heading to India reported that it was hit by a one-way attack drone, though no injuries were reported in the southern Red Sea, according to the U.S. Central Command. At approximately 8 p.m., U.S. Naval Forces Central Command received reports from two ships in the southern Red Sea that they were under attack. These attacks represent the 14th and 15th attacks on commercial shipping by Houthi militants since October 17th. And then uh, this month, the Indian Navy has been escorting Indian merchant ships in the Red Sea. India's defense ministry is providing protective escorts to Indian container ships in the high seas around the Red Sea as the security situation there continues to simmer. A government source said on Friday the containers could face delays of 14 days in their turnaround time due to taking a longer sea route around Africa, which is also causing higher transport and insurance costs. The source, who spoke on condition of anonymity, added, the cost of freight and insurance has risen due to ships being compelled to avoid the region. Ships have avoided the Red Sea after the Houthi militant group stepped up attacks in a response to Israel's military campaign in the Gaza Strip. Many consignments are being escorted with security in high seas with help from Ministry of Defense, aerial surveillance by a long-range maritime patrol aircraft and remotely piloted aircraft has been enhanced to have a complete maritime domain awareness. Earlier this week, the United States and 11 other countries issued a joint statement reiterating a call for an end to Houthi attacks in the Red Sea. And recently, pirates hijacked a ship near in the North Arabian Sea, where 5 to 6 armed pirates attempted to hijack the Liberian flagged vessel. India's Navy's elite marine commandos on Friday successfully rescued all 21 crew members, including 15 Indians. The Navy commandos boarded the attacked vessel from a warship to ensure the safety and rescue of the crew members. Upon receiving a distress message from the vessel MV Lila Norfolk via the UK Maritime Trade Operations Portal, the Navy promptly mobilized a warship Marine Maritime Patrol Aircraft P-1 helicopters and MQ-9B Predator drones to provide assistance. And the rescue operations conducted by the Navy commandos were termed as teamwork by Indian Navy Admiral R. Hari Kumar. He also said upon reaching the targeted ship, the Indian Navy's Marine Commandos executed a meticulous sanitization of the area. Interestingly, the pirates were not visible on the ship during the operation. So this shows that India's been suffering from attacks by the Houthis in the Red Sea, but so far there have been no casualties in India and of Indians, and no Indian ship has been sunk. and India has been providing some defense to ships traveling the Red Sea. Now, let me tell you what the Houthi is doing in the Israel-Hamas war. During the 2023 Israel-Hamas war, the Houthi movement in Yemen, aligned with Hamas, launched attacks targeting Israel. They employed missiles and unmanned aerial vehicles, some of which were intercepted by the Israel Defense Forces over the Red Sea using the Arrow missile defense system. Others fell short of their targets or were intercepted by the United States Navy, the French Navy, and the Israeli Air Force. They have also fired on merchant vessels of various countries in the Red Sea off the coast of Yemen in the Bab el Mandeb Strait, a choke point of the global economy, precipitating the US-led Operation Prosperity Guardian. So we can see that this is all tied to the Israeli conflict, where the Houthis are attacking ships that they believe are supporting Israel, that are somehow helping Israel in the war economically. Now, what is the Houthi movement? It is a Shiite militant organization which controls northern Yemen and is supported and funded by Iran. It reportedly serves as Iran's proxy in regional wars. In August 2018, a United Nations document had revealed that the movement is also supported and funded by North Korea via Syria after a meeting between a Houthi member and a North Korean government official. And most of their weapons come from Iran. They, yeah, so they've been basically causing a lot of irritation in the Red Sea. And the reason is that they believe that Arab countries are not acting against Israel properly. And so they've taken it upon themselves to uh, act against Israel in what they claim is protection for the Palestinian people. And Houthi rebels based in Yemen launched another attack this week on commercial vessels transiting the Red Sea Thursday, sending an explosive unmanned vessel near a US Navy ship. And the attacks threatened to significantly disrupt the flow of commercial goods through the Red Sea and Suez Canal, an important route for trade between Asian and Western countries. And yeah, so this is going to just continue. The Houthis have said that they are targeting vessels that are in some way associated with Israel in response to that country's attacks on Gaza and Hamas. Now, what is the impact on Indian trade flowing through the Red Sea? And how has the US and Western countries responded to this? They've created a coalition called Operation Prosperity Guardian. Operation Prosperity Guardian is a US led military operation by a multinational coalition formed in December 2023 to respond to Houthi led attacks on shipping in the Red Sea. United States Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin announced the formation of an international maritime security force which aims to end the Houthi blockade of Israel in the Red Sea and counter threats by Houthi forces. And the coalition currently has more than 20 members. Egypt and Saudi Arabia, both economically reliant on unhindered commercial shipping in the area, are absent from the listed participants. The countries that are part of this coalition are Canada, Spain, the United Kingdom, Bahrain, the Seychelles, France, the Netherlands, Italy, and Norway. And how they're working together is kind of unique for each one. For example, the Combined Task Force 153 under is under the control of the U.S. Combined Maritime Forces will control the vessels of the operation, which currently includes United States Navy's Carrier Strike Group 2. This strike group consists of the aircraft carrier USS Dwight D. Eisenhower and its escorting Arleigh Burke class destroyers, USS Laboon and USS Gravely. Other countries' vessels involved include the British destroyer HMS Diamond, with Denmark and Greece both announcing plans to send one frigate each. The Netherlands plans to send two staff officers. Norway plans on dispatching up to 10 staff officers, but as of 21st December is not sending any vessels. Australia announced that it will send 11 military personnel, but it rejected a US request to send a warship. Denmark announced that it would send an officer, and on 29 December announced that it will send the frigate. Canada is sending three staff officers by way of Operation Artemis. The Canadian Armed Forces will deploy an unspecified number of land, air, and sea support vehicles. Seychelles is not deploying any vessels or personnel, and it limits its operation to providing and receiving information. As a member of the Combined Maritime Forces, which is based in Bahrain. So these are some of the attacks on ships. One was on a country going to Norway. One was on the ship going to Gabon, which uh, India protected. Then the one going to Liberia, and one going to Maersk Hangzhou. And uh, yes, luckily none of these have resulted in injuries or deaths. Although the Houthis have been killed. They've in the attack against a Maersk Hangzhou Singapore vessel. 10 Houthis died and three gunboats were lost. I think that India has been right to not get involved, to not become a member of the Operation Prosperity Guardian, which is led by the US. In fact, many countries are not supporting the United States, specifically the Gulf countries. Uh, Italy is uh, working on its own, and not in coalition with the United States. And yeah, so many countries are acting independently and are not being led by the United States, which is a good idea because if the US continues this and um, goes heavy-handed against Yemen, they might bring the Iran into the conflict, which could create a war between the US and Iran, which would just be devastating. So it's best that other countries don't get involved in this. India has no reason to support the US. When it does, it has economic interests in the Red Sea, and it is losing money. Prices are going to go up for goods that are imported from European countries and Western countries in general as they go around the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa. But that's better than getting soldiers killed and spending money on a conflict when India just is not at that level where it can be economically strong enough to participate in a foreign war. We have to still focus on our borders, security and defense. So yeah, I hope India doesn't get involved, and I'm glad India hasn't. And I think hope that the US can put some pressure on Israel to stop this mass bombing and to rather rely on ground troops to take out Hamas and to simply stop mass killings of civilians. I no longer believe that they are uh, killing civilians only because Hamas is using their civilian shields. I think that is does happen, but a lot of it I think is now intentionally, not declared, but intentionally killing civilians. They're attacking schools, universities, hospitals, churches, mosques. Now, I hope that they do defeat Hamas. I want Hamas to be destroyed so that, uh, and I think it'll be best if Israel does take over Gaza. But I fear what will happen to the Palestinians if that happens. But I don't see any other solution. I don't think uh, moderate Palestinian government will be accept that is supported by Israel will be accepted by the Palestinian people. They'll probably view that as a sellout government, which will, probably would be. But I don't think that any other country should be getting involved in this war, especially including Yemen. Let Israel and Palestine fight this out. The only third party should be the United Nations, which should try to bring both parties to a negotiating table, but bilaterally, countries should not get involved. I know the US is an ally of Israel, so are several other Western countries, but they need to make sure that they don't get too directly involved in this conflict because it will only cause problems for them. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. If you like this video, please tell me in the comments and uh, please give a thumbs up. If you have anything to say about any feedback, please share it in the comments. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.